Welcome back everyone, this is Mondo All Day, back with another video. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at two collector's edition figures. Here we have Sergeant Rock, and we're going to have here Claw King. And this is Claw King from the... there's no story at all. And we have Sergeant Rock, DC Classics. As always, I'll be talking about the figure itself in terms of the articulation, sculpture, and paint, and if it's worth your purchase or not. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So let's take a look at each one in the box. We'll start off with Sergeant Rock. So front of the box, this side, number 14. The back, the other side, top, and bottom. And then for Claw King, we have here at the front of the box, this side, number 18, the back, the other side, top, and bottom. Alright, now let's take a look at each figure outside the box. As always, you do come with a card. The front of the card looks like for Claw King. The back of the card. Front of the card for Sergeant Rock. The back of the card. And they both come your regular card stand. Something that we've all seen before. And again, they just slide in. Just like so. Boom. And then I'll put Claw King's card right there. They both come with accessories. So for Claw King, it comes with his claw arms as swords. So here's one of them, pretty long one. Just painted gold on here, nice paint gold. And of course, it'll be the short one. Same kind of design, just shorter. And that's pretty much it, of course, a puck stand. For Sergeant Rock, it comes with a, looks like a shovel. Nice, kind of like a bronze kind of paint to it. Or gold paint to it, not bronze, gold. This is bronze, sorry. So this is more bronze. This is gold, alright? So, little shovel. It comes with this knife on here. Little detail on the grip handle for the knife. It's a bit flimsy. And it comes with a backpack as well too, like a military backpack. I like the design. I like how it actually has bullets on it, right? It looks like it's been used and stuff. I wish there was a bit more paint to it. Maybe some green on here or like dark brown just to make it pop a bit more. Because the design is there, but just having it just one solid color just kind of looks, yeah. But it's that. It comes with a military helmet on here. And I do like this color. You see that how it's like green with a little bit of light green. Dark green, of course, black, and of course, right there, a little symbol right there, right, and little straps here on the side, like this kind of. If the backpack came with more color, I think it would have popped more, but it is all good. But there's that, right? Come on, camera, there you go. And it also comes with extra pair of hands. So here is his like claw hands ish. I call it claw hands. I don't know the correct terminology, but there you go. Alright, and here's the back of the hand. And the other hand. And it comes with an extra pair of hands as well too. Alright, here's one, and here's going to be the other one, who's kind of be pointing with two fingers. And again, a puck as well as a stand. Now let's take a look at Sergeant Rock. We'll start off with the articulations. So head, left, right, up, down, shoulder, bicep, elbow, wrist, torso is going to be non-existent, and there is swivel. Then we'll do leg articulation, which is a bit limited because it does hit right here, right? Knees, ankles, and toes as well. So overall, the articulation on this figure, it's a bit mixed because some parts it's good, Others, like the torso, is limited. Of course, it's like 2, but everything else, it's good. It's just, yeah, limited in the legs and torso. Now let's talk about the figure itself. Now, if you're wondering, Mondo, it looks familiar because this is going to be reuse of some of Bane, the Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight movie wave Bane. I'll have an image to the right because it does use the feet on there. It's a little bit different, but you can see it's a lot of inspirations, I guess you can say. Some usage from that particular figure. But we'll start off with the headpiece. I gotta say, the headpiece, it looks pretty darn cool. One, you got the painted lips on there, the painted teeth. Right, you got that kind of like what looks like a brownish kind of paint on there, on his face, right? But that grin, the look at that grin, just looks like he wants to beat the crap out of you. Really good facial expression. You got the nice hairstyle, right? Look at that brown with a little bit of blacks on the back of the head. And then on top is going to be the like dark mustard color. I call it mustard, but I don't know the correct paint for it. The eyebrows on there, you get the regular eyes. You got the mustache, right? And very thick jawline. Look at that. Look at that jawline. Damn. Right? And so, overall, the headpiece, I like the headpiece. I think it looks really cool. That facial expression, though, just looks like a badass. Looks like a soldier's willing to kick your ass. So, I'm really digging this facial expression and the headpiece itself. The arm is just very clean, very muscle tone, right? You got a little bit of the forearm. It's supposed to be hair, but obviously just paint, but it makes it look like it's going to be hair. Same thing over here, just very muscle tone, right? You got the shoulders, bicep, and triceps. More of that here. And then we have a watch here on his right wrist, which is painted green with a little bit of paint chip on there on mine. Not a deal breaker on the paint chip, but it's fine. Then here we have, it's going to be the jacket or whatever this is called here. I do like the dog tags. I like how the dog tags are painted silver. That's really kudos to McFarlane, because he could easily paint it as green, right, to save some money, but he actually painted it silver. Right, you see that? The dog tags? I like that. And you can see the paint right here. Again, little details like that is why I like McFarlane. And again, it just pops. Very subtle, but it looks good. Then you got the pockets on here. Very defined pockets. And of course, that base green with all that like black shadowing. And I think it looks really good. It makes it pop. It just looks dirty, but also looks like camo. You can see more of the hair underneath the jacket or whatever this is called here. And like how it's actually ripped here on the arms. Alright, that's pretty cool. A little detail like that. I do like the whole green with the black shadowing paint. It just pops. And you can see more of that detail around the pockets. Because if this was just base green, it would look fine. But having that whole shadowing black paint, it just pops. And you can see more of the wrinkles on here. Again, if this was all just one color, you wouldn't be able to see this. But with that extra black shadowing paint, it looks like it's military, but also it just makes it pop, and you appreciate more of that detail, right? And the back as well, too. And also the front, right? And so, overall, the upper body on this figure, again, I'm not familiar with this character, and I think all of us are not familiar with this character. We may have seen him here and there, right? Maybe heard of the character, but let's be honest, majority of us have not heard of this character or don't know much about him. But you know what? He's part of the DC multiverse, and I'm all for it. And I think the upper body on this figure, it looks good. The arms are pretty plain, but again, he's supposed to be a soldier. He's not going to have, you know, high-tech arms or something like that. It's just going to be a regular soldier. So I'm liking this figure so far, the upper body, especially that facial expression. I'm telling you, facial expression is pretty cool. Did he do squats? You can't really tell. Oh, God, no, he does not. Damn. Oof. You gotta do some squats. Here's the back of the legs. Right, very thick pants. Very baggy pants. Look at that. Look at all the bagginess to it. And as I mentioned in the upper body in terms of that black paint, perfect example right here. Just look at all that wrinkles, right? But since it's all just solid green paint, green with brown paint, it just doesn't pop, right? It doesn't pop like everything else. It looks kind of, well, it looks kind of boring, just kind of like there. This pops. This is just there. And imagining if the lower body had this kind of paint, right, the black shadowing, I think it would pop a bit more. You can see more of the wrinkles. Here is going to be the side of the boot, right? You can see the straps on there, which is nice. Here's the feet, right? The front of the boots. The knee pads, right? There you go. Similar to the Banes. And then we got some really thick-ass pockets right here. Look at those pockets. Again, a lot of sculpture on the actual legs, right? And the pants, very defined. But unfortunately, though, that green paint is just kind of there, and, well, that's pretty much it. There's a little zipper right here inside the thigh. Right, and then you have the utility belt. Well, the utility belt, but the belt itself. You got several pockets. Some of them are ripped, right? And then you have very, very separated belt. I like that. I like the pockets having separation. And so, overall, this version of this figure, I say this version because it's the platinum one, which I'll have an image to the right. And so, for me, this version of Sergeant Rock, I like this one. I know the other one's more a collector's one, so if you like Sergeant Rock and you want more like that, you know, remember the small little army kind of figures type of thing, if that makes sense? I'll have an image so you can see what I mean. If you like that kind of thing, or you collected those, boom, try to get the platinum one. For me, I prefer this one. I do like the platinum one. It's cool. If I see it in person, I might get it. But regardless of that, though, I think the figure looks really darn good. Is it a character that I know? As I mentioned, no. And many of us have not heard of this character. Heard of it, but don't know much about him. But you know what? I gotta say, for what you're getting for the price, which I'll talk about that in a bit, it's a really good deal. So, to me, I like this figure. Is it something that I wanted? No, but hey, more DC Multiverse figures. So, more power to McFarlane. Now, let's take a look at Clock King. We'll start off with the articulation. So, whoa, why is it so bright? There we go. So, head, left, right, up, down. Ooh, let me correct this. There we go. So, head, left, right, up, down. Shoulder articulation. And we have here bicep, elbow, wrist. Oof, this is a very, very stiff wrist. Probably just mine. I know it does articulate. Oh my god, this is very, very stiff, and I don't want to break it. So there is articulation, just mine's very, very stiff. Alright, you got abdomen, you got torso. Then we have leg articulation. Knees. Oof, ankles. And of course, toes as well. And if you want to call the cape as well too, articulation, sure. So overall, the articulation on this figure, it's actually pretty good overall. Better than Sergeant Rock. Now let's talk about this figure, because similar to Sergeant, also present here in the fact that, well, a lot of us did not expect Clock King. But hey, we got him, and gotta say, McFarlane did a really good job. One, this whole headpiece, it is just like, what the heck is this? But it also works. I don't know why, but it works. It's a weird looking figure, and when you have it displayed with other figures, which I'll show you in a bit, you're gonna be like, it blends in, but it's also weird looking because the headpiece is just one big ass clock, right? That's the character. Here's the back of the head. You got a little bit of design here on top of the head. Here's the back of the head, and then it's going to be the front, right? And so it's going to be 1007, give or take. And so the base paint is blue with yellow, and it looks fine. But it's weird looking. This is one of those weird looking figures, and I'm liking it because this is something absurd, something that I know if we have it displayed, people are going to be like, what the hell is that? But again, it works, so it looks good though. I hope that makes sense. And so the headpiece itself, I like it. Very simple, plain looking, but then again, it's how it looks like. So you can't really fault McFarlane for adapting the comic version of this character. Here is going to be the arms. Very spandex, muscle tone, right? More of the clocks, right? And then you have the bicep, tricep. Then you have, I'm assuming it's going to be his watch. And the other side is going to be similar as well to more clocks. On the front of the body, I say front because, well, you can tell the back has no clocks, just only the front, which is fine, right? And then you have here the upper body. Just very spandex, muscle tone, very defined. Abdomen, you can see perfectly. I'm trying to fix it because it's kind of leaning, right? A little bit leaning towards the left. There you go. And there's chest. And here's going to be the back of the body of the figure. Again, no clocks in the back. Just very, very muscle tone, right? There's the lower body. Lower back. And of course, you got here the wire cape. The cape looks fine. Fortunately, the material, it has this kind of material to where I think it's just the color. Because with the color, when you have it on like this, it really sticks that mold. Right? See that? I just created that right now, and it's just there. So I think it's because of the color. Because having it this color, you can really see all the bends and so forth, right? Look at that. Oof. So it's a bit unfortunate, but at least it's a wired cape, right? And so overall, the upper body on this figure, it is a weird looking figure, but it works though. You got the beige, light blue, and of course that yellow paint, right? Or like a lime green paint. And so to me, I like it. It is a weird figure. I don't know what else to say. Does he do squats? Alright, better than Sergeant Rock though, alright? Sergeant Rock has nothing. This one at least has something. Here's the back of the legs, the hamstrings, very muscle tone, right? Not much to it. A little bit of the hamstrings on there. There's the back of the boot or the feet. Here's the side, very plain looking, right? Not much to it. Here's going to be in front of the boot. And I notice right now too, the joints are not aligned with the color. I don't know if my camera can pick it up, but you can see here perfectly. The colors don't match, right? This is more like a yellowish. This is more like greenish kind of paint. There's the front of the shin. More of the clocks on the front. And there's the thigh muscle. You can see it, but again, that bright beige blue paint just overshadows the definition. You can see it here in the back, right? But with the whole clocks and the blue, it just can't really tell. And of course, the torso is going to have a nice big clock on there. Goes wrapped around to the back, and the back has nothing in terms of the belt. So, that's that. So, overall, this figure, well, this version of this figure, but there's two of them. I like this version, but I prefer the Platinum one. I'm trying to get the Platinum one because I think the Platinum one looks better. I got to see it in person how it looks like, but from the images I've seen so far, the Platinum one, I think the Platinum one looks better. But for this particular figure, I got to say, I like it. Is it weird? Absolutely. But can it work with other figures? Which I'll compare with other figures that are more serious, but also bright in color. But then again, this is a figure that we did not, let's be honest, a lot of us did not want. But it's here, and I like it. Weird, absolutely. Very, very bright. But it's definitely an attention getter, and I gotta say, McFarlane did a really good job with it. Having that cape, I like, but just the paint. Alright, because once you see it and you kind of mess around with it, it just sticks that design. So, I like this figure. But of course, the main question is it really worth it? Should we go out and get these figures? For Sergeant Rock, for what you're getting for the price, I think that's a good deal. Again, for 30 bucks, you're getting a good looking figure with a great sculpture design paint. Then you get the accessory. You get 2 extra pair of hands. You get the shovel, the backpack, and you get that knife. For 30 bucks, I think that's a really good deal for it. Clock King, I like the figure, don't get me wrong, but for the price, so it's not the best value for money. But just think about it, because this is a regular 20 bucks figure, it would have came with what? Maybe just the clock hands or the arms, and that's pretty much it, right? Of course, no card stand. But for extra $5, okay, for the wired cape. But where's the extra $5? Is it really the wired cape, or what is it? And so for 30 bucks, for me, for Clock King, I don't think it's really worth it. 25, it's more of like, okay, I can dig for that. 20, good deal. But for 30, personally, no. I don't see the value of it for money. I like the figure, don't get me wrong. But for the price, though, no. Regardless of the price, though, what I think about the figures itself. As mentioned, for Sergeant Rock, good looking figure. The articulation, limited here and there, but it's good overall. The detail in the upper body looks really good. Facial expression, and for the accessory, you can really pose them to multiple ways. So, Sergeant Rock, hells yeah. Clock King, even though I don't think it's the best value for money, but it's a cool looking figure. And I'm telling you, when you see it in person, you're going to be like, this is the most dumbest idea McFarlane's made. But I like it and I want it. So overall, what do I give these two figures? They both get a thumbs up for me, even though the price for value is not the greatest for Clock King. It looks really good. I mean, look at him. It's just a standout, but it's a good looking figure. Sergeant Rock, character that many of us do not know, but for the price of for what you're getting, heck yeah. I think if Clock King came with extra pair of hands, something like this, kind of like pointy hand, that would have been much better. But for what you're getting, not the best, but they both look good though. So again, thumbs up for me for both. Here we have Riddler. This is a DC Classics Riddler, and of course DC Classics Sergeant Rock and Clock King. Again, this works very well. This is a very, very bright colored Riddler. So if you have this figure and you want to know how bright this is, you can tell this is a lot brighter compared to this one. So yeah, I just wanted to show you a really bright color figure and how it looks. Right, this is a really bright colored figure compared to this one. This one definitely is a stand-up, but I think having these two next to each other works well. Well, if you have Sergeant Rock next to Riddler, Riddler looks like an idiot, right? Like, what the hell are you wearing compared to Sergeant Rock? But nonetheless, here we have Riddler, Clock King, and of course, Sergeant Rock. Here we have another figure that all of us didn't want, or we're not expecting to get. Ambush Bug next to Clock King and Sergeant Rock. Similar to the Riddler, this works very, very well. No, because when you see this and you see Rock, you'll be like, what the hell is this? Right? But when you look at these two, you're going to be like, what the hell are these figures? But these two, again, it works. I don't know something about it, but it works. Maybe it's just me. To each their own, but as much as I didn't really want Ambush Bug, but the more I look at it, I'm like, you know what? It's a cool, fun figure. Obviously, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Don't collect it. I'm glad I got one. I should put it that way. Here we have Victor Zsasz. This is going to be the McFarlane Online Store exclusive gold label figure. Again, similar to these two right here. Victor Zsasz, let's be honest, many of us did not expect to get a Victor Zsasz figure, but we got one, and I think McFarlane nailed it. Same thing with these two, right, on the side. Who would have thought McFarlane would have made Sergeant Rock and Clock King? But he did it, and it works very well. But, of course, these two next to each other, no. These two next to each other, yeah. So, there you go. Here we have more classic-looking, comic-accurate Victor Zsasz figure next to, or more comic-accurate Rock and King. Here we have Batman, the Detective Comics. Batman, aka from the Cape Crusader from Amazon Prime. If you've not watched that show, the animated series, definitely check it out, man. I'm enjoying it. I know the whole female penguin thing, but you know what? I don't care. I'm still enjoying the story. I've not finished it yet, so please no spoilers in the comment section. But anyways, more classic, comic accurate Batman next to these two comic classic looking figures. In terms of the cape, this is what I want to talk about. The cape, right, has this kind of look to it. Oh, let's see if I don't hit anything, all right? But you can see what I mean in terms of the color, right? Because this one, you can kind of fold it in certain ways. You can kind of see a little bit right here in the bottom. So hopefully my camera can pick it up. You can't really tell because it's black, but right, you can see right here, right? The wrinkles. Here, you can see perfectly clear. So if you do get this figure, be careful. Because if you do mess around with the cape, look at all the wrinkles, right? Here, you can't really tell that much. It's there, but it's not as noticeable because of the color of it. This one, very, very noticeable, so keep that in mind. And of course, you got to talk about the color itself, right? Sergeant Rock and Batman work very well. This Batman does not work with the Clock King. Just look at the colors, right? Very tall Batman figure, but it's all good though. I really like this figure. I don't know why. I like the purple hands. Maybe it's just me. I know people don't like the whole purple hands. I'm starting to dig it. It's something different and unique, and to me it works. But if you don't, it's all good. Since we're talking about DC Classics and more comic accurate figures, boom, here we have Darkseid DC Classics. If you're looking for a more like a display of like DC classic looking figures with the really bright colors, these two work very, very well. Look at that, right? Perfectly. It looked perfectly in your display piece. But then you have Sergeant Rock. It definitely does not work. Look at that. Oof, it does not work. So just wanted to show you another classic looking figure, a DC classic figure, Darkseid Mega-Fig. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with these figures or plan on purchasing these figures? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support the channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So this includes an overview of the Collector's Edition Clock King and Sergeant Rock. And on to the next one.